Chapter 3: Diverging Paths. Memphis had been in LA for a week, and late one afternoon, as the sun dipped lower and the horizon transformed into a canvas painted with hues of amber and rose, Memphis found himself lost in his craft. As he adjusted the lens of his camera, he captured Sofia against the rustic backdrop of an old barn. Her smile, radiant yet somehow distant, betrayed her expertise as a model accustomed to the demands of the lens. "Okay, hold that," Memphis said. Sofia adjusted her stance and tilted her chin to catch the light just right. It illuminated her honey blonde waves and created an ethereal halo effect. Memphis captured the shot but couldn't shake off a sense of dissatisfaction as he lowered his camera. "You good, Grumpy?" Sofia teased, before approaching him with a playful smirk. "Grumpy, huh? That's what we're going with now?" Memphis retorted, attempting to mask his inner turmoil. "It fits," she quipped, and then bumped his shoulder. "You've had that broody artist vibe going since we started." Memphis shook his head as he tried to dispel the heaviness that lingered in his chest. "Just one of those days, I guess." Sofia's expression relaxed. "Wanna call it a day? We've got plenty of shots." Memphis glanced toward the fading golden hour and felt the pull to keep going. "How do you feel about sticking around a bit longer? Maybe catch some of the string lights when it gets darker?" Sofia's face brightened. "Now we're talking." They relocated to a nearby clearing where twinkling lights strung between trees shifted the atmosphere from polished to intimate and raw. Under the gentle illumination, Memphis captured Sofia in moments of genuine laughter, with her spinning freely beneath the lights and even resting barefoot on the grass, far removed from her influencer persona. "These are going to be killer," Memphis said as he reviewed the images on his camera. Sofia settled next to him and stretched out her legs. "Way better than all that curated influencer stuff, right?" "Definitely more real," he replied, then paused. "Do you like doing all that influencer work?" She exhaled, and her carefree demeanor faded into seriousness. "It's a hustle. People have always noticed my looks, so I figured I might as well make something of it. But sometimes, I just want to be me. No filters, no fake smiles." Memphis nodded in understanding. "I get that. Creativity's weird like that. Lately, photography's felt off for me, like I'm just going through the motions." "Why do you think that is?" Sofia asked, her brow furrowing in concern. He hesitated as the weight of his thoughts pressed down. "It might be life stuff. Aubrey, my girlfriend, she's been struggling with her art too. Feels like we're both stuck in this creative rut." Sofia considered his words. "Maybe you're both too focused on getting it right instead of just doing it. Sometimes you've got to let go of what people expect." Memphis chuckled as a lightness touched his spirits. "Look at you, dropping wisdom bombs." "Don't act so surprised," she said, nudging him playfully. "I'm not just a pretty face, you know." "Never said you were," he replied seriously. The moment between them lingered, charged yet unspoken. Sofia broke the silence with a playful shove. "You're not so bad when you loosen up. Grumpy with a heart of gold." His laughter echoed in the clearing, more genuine than he had felt in weeks. "You're impossible. It's part of my charm." She stood up and brushed off her jeans. "Come on, one more shot." As they continued, Sofia posed under the string lights, arms wide open, as if she were embracing her true self. Memphis captured the moment, a perfect blend of authenticity and artistry. "Got it," he said, satisfaction coloring his voice. However, his mind was a mix of gratitude and guilt. The connection with Sofia had sparked something within him, blurring lines he had never intended to cross. For the first time in a long while, he felt alive creatively, not just surviving but thriving. As they packed up, Sofia gave him a playful bump. "Next time you want to get artsy, call me." "Okay," Memphis said, a smile tugging at his lips. But as they drove away from the magical scene, the weight of unspoken thoughts hung heavy in the air. What did this newfound spark mean for him, and for Aubrey? The question lingered, unresolved, as the city lights began to twinkle in the distance. As the weeks unfolded, Memphis became a familiar presence in the vibrant landscape of Los Angeles. His camera captured Sofia in a variety of settings that showcased the carefully curated spectrum of her public persona. From high-fashion shoots in sleek architectural spaces to sunlit terraces and manicured gardens, the imagery was designed to reflect the glamour and effortless confidence her millions of followers expected. Sofia moved through each session with practiced ease, playful grins, deliberate poses, and teasing glances, the hallmarks of an influencer well-versed in holding attention. Around them, assistants adjusted lighting, arranged props, and kept the schedule moving, and the entire production operated with polished efficiency. In the quiet spaces between shoots, the lines between professional and personal grew harder to distinguish. Sofia's casual touches and lingering looks often hovered on the edge of suggestion, while Memphis maintained a steady focus behind the lens and offered only polite conversation and a measured distance. One evening, when the air in Beverly Hills was warm and heavy with the scent of expensive cologne and freshly popped champagne, guests filtered into the Spanish-style mansion. Terracotta tiles gleamed underfoot, and soft golden light spilled from arched windows and wrought iron sconces. The courtyard pulsed with music and low conversation, while inside, crystal glasses clinked and laughter echoed off high stucco ceilings. Memphis drifted through the party and blended into the sea of silk dresses and sharp suits. The sprawling estate reflected the same effortless luxury that surrounded Sofia's public image, curated, extravagant, and unbothered by reality. Then Sofia herself appeared beside him, dressed in flowing silk, her makeup flawless under the soft glow of the lights. Her smile, bright and calculated, never wavered as she leaned in, her hand brushing against his arm. "You've got that look again, Memphis," she teased, her tone light with amusement. Before a response could be offered, a voice cut through the hum of the party. "Sofia. There you are." A tall man approached, and his presence commanded attention. Dark curls framed a face marked by age and authority, and an expensive watch glinted at his wrist with every step. The crowd seemed to part for him, his confident stride betrayed someone accustomed to control. Sofia's expression shifted for the briefest moment, the easy smile faltered, before it settled back into place. "Richie," she said, smoothing her dress as she turned. "This is Memphis, my photographer." The man extended a hand, his eyes cool but unreadable. "Richie Rojo. Nice to meet you." "Memphis Green," came the reply, their handshake was firm, and the exchange professional. The tension between Richie and Sofia was subtle but present, a stiffness in her posture, and a lingering weight behind his otherwise polite expression. "We need to talk," Richie said, his voice quiet. Later, Sofia replied, dismissing him with a breezy confidence that didn't quite reach her eyes. "We're in the middle of something." Richie's jaw tensed, and he remained silent for a moment. "I'll find you later," he said, and his gaze shifted back to Memphis for a final, lingering second before he disappeared into the crowd. Sofia exhaled, and the faintest fracture appeared in her polished exterior before she tucked it neatly away. "Richie can be intense," she said with a shrug, and without offering further details. The music swelled, laughter drifted from the bar, and the party pressed on, a shimmering facade of glamour and wealth. But beneath the surface, as with so much in this world, there were cracks. And behind every curated image, there was always something left unseen. Back in the sanctuary of his hotel room, Memphis shut the door behind him with a soft click, and the noise of the city faded into the background. The room was sleek but impersonal, polished wood floors, floor-to-ceiling windows overlooked downtown Los Angeles, and neutral-toned furniture exuded quiet luxury but little warmth. The muted hum of the air conditioning filled the silence as he kicked off his sneakers, and their rubber soles thudded against the floor. He collapsed onto the crisp white bedspread, his eyes tracing the faint patterns in the ceiling as the weight of the evening's revelation settled heavily on his chest. The image of Richie Rojo lingered in his mind, the man's cool confidence, the carefully constructed charm, and the underlying edge that was impossible to miss. There was something unsettling about Richie, as if every smile, every gesture was part of a meticulously rehearsed performance meant to assert control. After rubbing his jaw, Memphis reached for his laptop on the bedside table, its sleek surface cold beneath his fingertips. The glow of the screen lit his face as he typed Sofia Grey's name into the search bar. Instantly, a flood of results appeared, glossy headlines, endless photos, and curated glimpses into her life. Fashion shows, charity galas, sun-soaked vacations and private villas, a perfectly polished narrative for the world to consume. But it was a particular headline that sent a jolt through him: Sofia Grey and Richie Rojo, the power couple set to tie the knot. Engaged, he muttered under his breath, eyes narrowing as he clicked on the article. A photo accompanied the headline, Sofia and Richie side by side, their smiles wide for the cameras. But beneath the surface of that flawless image, something felt off. Sofia's posture was stiff, her smile brittle, as though the carefree energy he'd come to know in person had been neatly packaged away. The low buzz of his phone cut through the room. As he glanced at the screen, a grin appeared on his face, despite the swirl of his thoughts. "Jackie," he answered with a familiar drawl. "What's up, troublemaker?" Jackie's voice spilled through the line, teasing and animated. "How's LA treating you? Caught up in any Sofia Grey drama yet? She's all over my socials ever since I heard about your gig." Memphis chuckled, and the tension in his chest eased. "LA's wild, but no drama, yet. How'd you find out about the job?" Hello? I have my ways." Jackie laughed, a note of smugness in her voice. Her tone softened as curiosity bled through. "Honestly though, I'm jealous. She's gorgeous." "What's she like in person?" "Flirty. Confident. Knows how to work a camera," Memphis replied, keeping it simple but truthful. Jackie's voice dropped conspiratorially. "Sounds like trouble. But spill, what's Richie Rojo like?" A frown rippled Memphis' brow. "Wait, how do you know about him?" Jackie's laugh was tinged with mischief. "Babe, anyone with a pulse and access to celebrity gossip knows Richie Rojo. Big tech mogul, rolling in money, but that's not the juicy part. Did you know his best friend used to be Julian Rouge?" Memphis sat up straighter, surprise flickering across his face. "Julian Rouge? As in, the NASCAR guy?" "Yeah, that's Sofia's ex," Jackie said. "They dated?" "Yeah, 4 years. It was all over the tabloids. Julian and Richie were tight, like best man at the wedding tight. Then Julian broke it off with Sofia and married his childhood sweetheart, and Richie swooped in on Sofia, and word is, it caused a massive fallout between them." Memphis leaned back, the tangled web of celebrity relationships settled over him like a fog. "Damn, that's messy." Their banter eased for a moment, but the air between them shifted, lighter tones giving way to something heavier. "So," Jackie's voice dropped, quieter now. "Have you told Aubrey yet?" Memphis' stomach twisted as the question sliced through the fog in his mind. "Told her what?" Jackie hesitated, but the unspoken memory lingered between them. "About that night. When you stayed over, and things got carried away." A cold knot formed in his chest, and the weight of that mistake pressed in on him. The drinks. The blurred lines. The guilt. "No," Memphis replied, the word landing heavily in the quiet room. "Have you told my brother?" "Seriously, Jackie, come on, what do you think?" The line fell silent for a moment. When Jackie finally spoke, her voice was small, almost pleading. Maybe we just forget it happened. Memphis closed his eyes, the words tasted bitter despite their simplicity. Yeah, he replied, though the decision settled nothing. The call ended, leaving only the soft hum of the air conditioning and the dull glow of the laptop screen beside him. Memphis tossed his phone onto the nightstand, the device landed with a muted thud. As he lay back on the bed, eyes fixed on the ceiling, the whirlwind of Sofia, Richie, Aubrey, and Jackie circled in his mind like smoke, thick, suffocating, and impossible to outrun. Sleep felt like the only escape left.